Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. I have something that came in the mail that it says, for your next mail call, and this came from Brandin. So, whatever it is, it feels like there's something substantial in here, but have no idea what it is. So what I'm going to try to do here is make this a review of whatever this is, and we'll see. So, whoops. Yeah, there we go. I like the packages that have this pull string. You don't have to break out the knife. Okay, we have a letter. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say. So let me see. Hi Fred, my name is Brandon and I live in central Wisconsin. I really enjoy your videos and I'm working on watching all of them. That's over 300. That's going to take a while. I said I was going to send you something in a few weeks, so here it is. It is a Smith & Wesson Power Glide I purchased on eBay for $15 as sort of a curiosity. I couldn't find the box, but it's brand new and I haven't used it. I hope you like it. I thought it was sort of weird and big, so I never carried it. I'd like to say your videos are of some of the highest quality on YouTube, better than some of the much more subscribed channels. I'd also like to thank you for taking the time every week to make your videos for your service in the Navy. I seem to I hate reading on camera. You seem like a sincere and virtuous individual, which are rare traits nowadays. And it is what makes your channel one of my favorites to watch. Maryland gun and knife laws sound kind of crappy. Move to Wisconsin. I'd love to. But this house, you get with the economy and everything, you sort of, I'm not like underwater, but there's no way that I can sell the house and move. So I'm sort of stuck here unless, of course, I win the lottery, but I can't win the lottery because I never play. Because I sort of consider the lottery a poor man's tax, and the money's supposed to go to the schools, but it never seems to go to the schools. It always seems to go to politicians' slush funds. But I'm not going to get political, so let me just stop myself there. We are moving in the right direction as far as our gun laws go, and we have a few knife restrictions in most cities. Plus, we have the Packers. Go Pack, go. Anyway, if you decide to review the knife, don't worry about hurting my feelings if you don't like it. It's interesting, but not for me. Keep the videos coming. God bless, Brandon. And he also said, P.S. I found a coupon for buck knives, which is his favorite. So I have I want to be careful. I'm not showing anything I'm not supposed to. I got a coupon there. Alright, so this is going to be a review. Let me see, it would be going this way. This is going to be a review of the Smith & Wesson Power Glide. Stay tuned. So now for the unpackaging, because we can't unbox it, because he said he didn't have the box. Let me make sure I got everything here. Yep. Okay, from Wisconsin. Thank you, Brandon. Wow, this is really nice, and it has some sort of clip. So let's see how this clip works first. There's like a little round thingy right there on top of the knife. It's weird looking, ain't it? Let me see if I could just show you that. And we have it. It's sort of like where you could hang things, you mount something like on your car, and then you put this little thing on the back of something, and it clicks in. Except, I see, you got to put it in, you got to hold it at an angle, and then it goes down, and then it locks in. So you have to bring it up. So you just put this. So you put this on your belt. It's a belt clip, right there. And then you just, when you need it, you move it 90 degrees either way. And you lift. So that's how the belt clip works. Now let's see this knife. This is pretty interesting. Okay, so I'm assuming. There we go. Huh. Oh, I guess you gotta help it along. There we go. And we have a tonneau blade with some sort of black coating. What I'm going to do is when I cut the seed, I'm going to go ahead and do some research, get all the specs on this, so I can sort of turn this into not only just a boxy, but a review. So let's see, and to fold it, you do that. So it looks like you have to give it a push. I wonder if I can sort of coax it with one hand, almost. Let me see. It's so tight, that lock. It's just about a two-handed job to get this out. I think I remember seeing some reviews on some of these, and it actually, if I remember right, there was someone on YouTube who was able to flip this out and flip it back and do it with one hand, but I think there are different versions of this. There's like versions that I think have a aluminum handle. This appears to be a plastic type of handle, which I'll look up and I'll get all the specs. And we will be right back. So stay tuned. Well, I spent about a good 30 minutes on the internet and on YouTube looking at some specs and reviews on this knife. See, I had to do my homework here. I don't want to just feed you crap. I want to actually make this gift sort of a useful review for folks. So anyway, this is the Smith & Wesson SWPGBT Power Glide Manual OTF knife. OTF means out of front, which is what this does. So when you open it, it comes straight out of the front. The Smith & Wesson Power Glide, which is what this is, features a unique opening system. This is sort of ambidextrous. Actually, it requires two hands unless you're gifted. It's designed by Rocky Moser, and his name is on this knife right there. You can see that. And it's, let's see, you basically, my notes here go to explain that the way that you open this is you pull the handles apart and it deploys it about halfway. You know, I've tried my best to get some momentum going to try to get it without having to push, but I'm just not coordinated enough, so I have to continue and just sort of give it a push. It comes with a detachable belt clip, which I've already shown you, but I want to go ahead and show it to you closer so you can see how that works. And you have this little nub right here, and again you got to put it in at a 90-degree angle like that. Push down, and then once you turn it in this direction, it's not going to move. It can't come out. So that's what you have to do to take it on and off. You know, it's a great, well-built manual knife for the price. I mean, between $15, $20, any more than that, you're paying too much for this knife based on what I've seen on YouTube. It does have an interesting logo here. We'll go ahead and take a close look at that. There we go. And you can see the texture. Now, this is an aluminum handle with Crichton inserts, which as far as I can tell, it's a type of plastic. It does have some texture to it, although it's very fine, so it doesn't really give you too much grip at all. Now, this knife, as well as all Smith & Wesson knives, are made by Taylor Brand Cutlery, LCC, and basically most of their knives are made in China. Now, this blade, particularly, is a tonneau style blade. Now, the interesting thing is that you have a hollow grind that comes up a little beyond halfway, and then you have a flat, and you also have a little bit of a bevel over here, like you do with most tonneau blades, and there is a slight clip point here on the top. Now, on the other side, it's just completely flat. So You know, that might be a cost-saving measure. The reason why they did that, I'm not sure. The the blade itself is 3.9 inches long, and the steel is 7CR17 MOV high carbon stainless steel with a Teflon coating. And you can see that it does sort of come off easy. You can see there's already some marks. I don't know if that is actually from the function of the knife coming in and out, or if it was used a little bit, but it obviously Teflon coating will come off easily. So what I would suggest is keep a little bit of oil on there once it starts getting scratched. Also, there's a spear point model, so you don't have to get a tonneau. There is a spear point model. So, I'll tell you, I hate being unprepared for reviews or unboxings, but I do want to get this out here and make this interesting. Now, there's a lot of misleading information about this knife. One of the things is like the material. Like they'll say the handle's aluminum, but obviously it's aluminum with the Crichton plastic inserts, and it's all plastic up here. Another thing that a lot of specifications on stores out there say is that the blade is 440 steel or 440C steel, stainless steel, which it is not. I went to the Smith & Wesson website, and I had to had to go to the Taylor brand Cutlery LCC and sort of go through a really long PDF file, which takes forever to sort of scroll through. When I finally got down to these particular knives, the Power Glide, they specifically state it's the 7CR17 MOV, which makes sense. I mean, these are made in China, so why not use Chinese steel? The 7CR17 MOV is basically on par with the US 440A stainless steel. Now the handle itself is 5.9 inches, so when you fold this thing up, it's 5.9 inches long, so it's still rather big even folded up. Overall, when the blade is deployed, is 9.5 inches. It weighs 6.5 ounces, and again the price is between $15 and $20, and it does include this beautiful belt clip. So anyway, let's go ahead and do a paper test really quick. I am not prepared because I put on my notes on my Nexus, which I recently reviewed, and I don't want to do a cut test on my Nexus tablet. Now, I don't know if this was used. I don't think it was. So let's see how sharp it is. Okay, it's a little rough, but it does cut paper well. So not too bad. How about blade play? There is a hint of up and down blade play, and no side-to-side that I could feel. I would actually think, based on this complex mechanism, that there would be even more. But taking a very close look at the way that this is designed, is that at the base of this blade, I'm going to see if I could show you this. This part right here, you can see how it gets a little bit wider as you go back on the blade. Well, what happens is, as that blade goes forward and gets pushed, it gets pushed between these two pillars right here on each side. You have two pillars, and what happens is it's basically getting wedged as it moves forward between those two to help strengthen. And of course it can't move back because of these four pieces of metal. You see, you have two on each side. Makes four that are screwed with little torque screws. I'll go ahead and show you those. You can see that. So you got the same torque screw going through the blade and holding these together, and then you got torques inside the handle themselves, I guess, and it holds it all together. So you have a lot of points holding it pretty steady. I'm not sure how super strong it is. We could go ahead and do a stab test. Let me go ahead and grab a piece of wood and we could go ahead and test that out. Alright, let's go ahead and move the paper out of the way. We'll go ahead and move my tablet out of the way and the clip. And we'll go ahead and get a piece of wood. And I'm just going to go ahead and give it a couple of stabs. You can see it's, I'm not playing around here. We'll go ahead and, what I'm doing is I'm testing the tip. I want to see if this tip breaks easy, because this is not very strong wood. This is a relatively soft pine wood, so this shouldn't phase any tip of any knife unless it's, a little cheap knife. So let's go ahead and take a look at that tip. Go ahead and focus it in real good, and you can see the tip is all there. Didn't break. It did not bend, so it did well. And there's still that little bit of up and down play. There's no side to side play at the moment, but I could see that after a while this will probably develop some play. And I did again look at a whole bunch of YouTube videos and some reviews and everything, and with time this will develop a little bit of blade play. Now also, I almost forgot to mention, there is like a little lock here on the bottom where this little plastic doodad right here sort of wraps itself around a pin. So when you close this, it locks like that to hold it secure, and that's the same when you close it. It locks it, so it's not going to open. So it's a very secure knife. You don't have to worry about it opening up. If you do put this in your pocket, it's an awful lot, and there's no lanyard hole on this. So you're going to have to reach down in there, but you won't have to reach very deep because it is so big, and you'll definitely know it's in your pocket because it's heavy. So there's one video where someone said this is an EDC. I would be hard pressed to say that this is an EDC knife. This is like replacing something that you would have in a pouch on the outside on your belt. It's just big. Actually, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out where or how this knife would be used. It's so unique. One thing is, like, if you're a knife collector and you're just looking for something unique and different to add to your collection that's inexpensive, if you're just starting to collect knives, this would be a cool addition, and it's inexpensive. I mean, it appears to be made fairly well. For the price, it does feel pretty solid for the price, and it seems to be made well. The steel is decent. It's good for the price. It's made by a designer, Mr. Rocky Moser. So, would I recommend it? Sure, I'd recommend it for $15, $20, but no more. And I would recommend it for a collector. I'm not really sure what its intended use is. I mean, obviously a tonneau blade is a defensive type of blade for stabbing people or stabbing things. That's its strong point, literally. But there's nothing. Well, in a stabbing motion with this particular knife, you don't have any guards here, and the texture of this, there's not much lending itself to keeping your hand from sliding, other than this nub that's used to secure it into the belt clip. So I would be very careful. I don't think this falls into any roll very well, but that's only my opinion. Someone might have a good idea of where this would fall in. You can comment below. I would be very interested in learning. So thank you very much, Brandon, for the really cool knife. It's really awesome, and I would recommend it for $15 to $20. If you can find it for that, I would recommend it to the collector. Again, I don't know what role this could really excel in my opinion. It's just a very unique, cool knife. Thank you for the very kind words in this letter. And the 25% off coupon card. I really, really do appreciate it. So let's see. I got to figure out a rating for this again. Man, for the price point, it really does give a lot. So um, this is very hard because again, I really didn't prepare. I usually spend quite a few hours and usually actually a couple of days here and there. I know what I'm gonna do, and I'll go on the internet and I'll really run through a lot of people's reviews to sort of help steer me in the right direction, and then I'll look at it myself and then just sort of feel what my opinion is higher and lower, and I'll sort of adjust accordingly. But this is unprepared, so I want to I really want to give this a lot, but again, that the roll thing as far as a placement, and again, it's made in China. It's inexpensive, but it's very well priced. So I will give this an 8 out of 10. You know, it is a value priced knife. It's really cool. So there you go, the Smith & Wesson Power Glide. So thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you, and Brandon. Thank you very much. And I will see you Friday. Take care.